Hey guys, today is a very impromptu video. I'm sorry, I know I look like I just got out of the wilderness. I just got home from meeting Jack Galinsky and Jack Johnson. So it started off this morning. Today is Friday, February 27th of 2015. So I went to their hotel and there was a few girls, maybe a little bit under, I think maybe 10 people, maybe less. And there was a security guard, a woman or, a worker of the hotel, who was yelling at the girls, and I guess me too, now that I had joined the group. And she was saying, that she was going to call the cops if, we didn't leave. But the girls, because I had just gotten there, and the girls weren't standing in front of the hotel property, they were standing in the corner. And, you could tell that the Jacks were about to come out because the security got really tight. And the door opens again, and it's Jack Galinsky. Shortly after he came out, Jack Johnson came out with luggage also, and they went to their car, and some girls who had been across the street ran to the car on the other side. They didn't have time to meet anyone because they were running late, supposedly, for their Z100 performance. And the security lady was still yelling at us to get back. She was like, "Stay back, stay back." So I didn't go up to them, but then I was like, this is my chance. And she had started walking up to the car also, so, I could move forward. And she wasn't yelling at the people who had come across the street and were, like, mobbing them. She didn't yell at those girls, but she was yelling at us, and we weren't even going near them. We were just watching. So I went up to where the car was, I waved my letters a little bit, and said, well, will you please take my letters? And, I thought, I looked inside and I could see Jack Johnson was leaning over to the front two seats, so he couldn't see me. So I assumed that neither Jack had seen me. So I started to walk away, and then the car started a little bit, and the window rolled down, and then I see a hand pop out, and it was Jack Galinsky's hand. His hand popped out, he opened it a little bit, and he stuffed his hand through to try to grab my letters. And so I gave them to him, and I was like, "I love you," and he was like, "I love you too." And they left. And I started walking away from this car, and I was walking from the car to the corner, and I went on Twitter. And I saw that Jack had favorited 3 of my tweets. I guess he was favoriting the tweets as I was going on my Twitter. And I had put my Twitter on the front of the envelope and in the letter. The tweets he favorited, which I will insert right here, said, the first one was, "I'm going to the hotel right now," with a smiley face. "I'm almost there finally." And then, "I haven't been this nervous in a long time." And then he followed me. And this was all going so, this was all happening so fast. And I didn't even notice he followed me. And I was getting tons of notifications, and all of a sudden I kept getting more notifications and people replying to a tweet. And I was confused because it was both at me and Jack Galinsky. And then I realized that Jack had tweeted me, and I was getting so many notifications and my phone was getting confused. And Jack had tweeted me, he had replied to my tweet that said, "I haven't been this nervous in a long time." He said, "I'm so glad I noticed you trying to give me your letter. Just read it," with the little sad face. He said, "Keep smiling, Jennifer, I love you." And I saw this, and I just, I can't put it into words. He had tweeted me this, and I was just shocked. It was so hard to think of what to say back to him because I was freaking out. And I said, "Thank you so much, Jack. I love you. You're the best," with 3 little heart emojis. "See you at Z100. And then he favorited that. When he favorited the 3 tweets, it's because he went on my account, because I gave him my username, and he tweeted me. So I thought that he probably wouldn't see my response tweet because he gets so many tweets. But either he just happened to see this tweet, or he went back on my account and saw that I tweeted him back. So it was just mind-blowing to me, and I was so happy. Since they were going to Z100, I went and I hopped in a cab and went to the Z1, where they, do Z100. And then somebody that I had met through Twitter, I was planning to meet up with her, and so we met up. And she introduced me to the group that she was with. We were originally waiting outside, but we decided to check inside to see who was, in there. And there was a lot of people. All of a sudden the door opened and both of the Jacks walked in and everyone started mobbing them. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. I went to Jack J first, and I'll have the video right here. And I didn't really get a picture. I'm like, I did, but it was, I got a video. I asked him to smile for the picture, but less than half of my face was in the video. So it was like, I mean, I was happy, but he was getting mobbed when it was happening too. So he kind of got pulled away. And then I went to Jack G, and I smiled for a pic. I asked him for a picture, and he said sure. And we took a picture, and I was like, can you kiss me on the cheek? And he was like, you know, he kissed me on the cheek. It was just very sweet. And I was really happy that he did that and stopped for me. And they went up to do their Z100 thing, and it turns out most of the girls who were inside had tickets, but me and the girls I was with didn't. My phone was dying. I had like 10 or 9% or something like that, and I was like, I need a phone, like I need battery power to get pictures with them. And so me and two or three other girls went into Starbucks, and I charged my phone, and then like as I was getting my hot chocolate, I see them. They were like, come on, like we have to go. And they like ran into the door that leads, or not really ran, they like, you know, went quickly to the door that leads into the building. And I got my hot chocolate and grabbed my phone and my backpack and went inside. I saw Jack J and I saw Jack G, and I was like, oh my gosh. And there wasn't that big of, there wasn't a crowd really. There was just a few of us, like, well, no more than a few. There was like 10, 15 maybe. It was a very, you know, it was like a very chill thing. It was like very relaxed. No one was mobbing, like people were just, you know, going up and meeting them. And so I went up to Jack J first, and this is the first picture we took, and it was a selfie of us, you know, just a regular smiling one. And I, you know, said hi to him, and he's like, how are you, babe? I was like, you know, can you kiss me on the cheek? And he was like, sure. And then this is the picture of him kissing me on the cheek, and he was so sweet, and he was just so adorable and so nice, and was, you know, kind of like making, you know, conversation with me. I was like, oh, I gave Jack G my letter for you. And he was like, oh, Jack has it? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, I'll read it. After I met Jack J, I went up to Jack G, and I waited for, you know, the people in front of me to meet him and finish up. And then I went up to him and I was like, hi Jack, like, I'm Jennifer, I'm the one you tweeted. And he was like, oh, hi Jennifer, and was like making like conversation, like, oh, how are you, or something like that. And he was being really sweet. And then we took this photo, and he was like, I'm sorry for everything that you're going through in your life right now. Like, I just want you to know that it's going to get better. And it was so sweet. And I was like, thank you. Because in my letter that I had wrote him, I was talking about my mom, who is sick, and, you know, how their music has, you know, distracted me, like put a smile on my face, and, you know, has made me feel better. And so he was referring to that. So he remembered what I put in my letter, which was really sweet. Then he, you know, moved on to, like, you know, because there were quite a few people there who wanted to meet him. And then I was like, oh, I want to get a kissing picture, because I got a kissing picture, but it was blurry. So I was like, oh, I need to get another one. But he was walking away when I said this, and this is the video. He was getting, like, dragged out, or, like, we're in a rush. And Jack was like, oh, I would if I could. And he, like, you know, like, did a kiss at me. They went outside, and there were tons of girls outside. They got into their car, and everyone was, like, you know, mobbing the car, too. Girls, you know, were, you know, like, going up to the window and saying stuff and, like, trying to, like, get them. Sorry, I just realized the lighting is, like, getting increasingly worse. It's because the sun is going down. I'm sorry the lighting still isn't great, but anyway, they left and went to the airport. But they genuinely made me so happy. And it's, you know, I think the best experience I could have asked for. This is definitely one of the best days of my life. Like, I was out in the cold for a long time, but it was worth it. Like, I got to meet two guys who mean the world to me. And, you know, Jack G favorited 4 of my tweets, tweeted me, followed me, I mean, I highly doubt that either of them are watching this, but if you are watching this, Jack and Jack, I want you guys to know that you've made me the happiest person in the world, and I love you so much. Thank you for that. It means so much to me. I'm making this video because I wanted to share this with you guys and to say that, you know, a week ago, I would have never believed that this was going to happen to me. If it can happen to me, or if I can do it, so can you. Like, don't give up on a follow from your favorite, because it's going to happen. You know, it takes time. Like, I've been trying to get them to follow me or notice me for a long time. You know, your time comes, and when it does, it is so worth it. The wait is so worth it. Like, I feel genuinely so happy, and they were so nice, and whatever anyone says about them, like, they are the sweetest human beings ever. Like, they kind of looks like they didn't want to meet anyone, but I could understand. You know, they were tired. But afterwards, they were a lot happier. I think they had, you know, woken up and they'd performed, and I guess they felt good. It shocks me, because I was so nervous to meet them. Like, I was freaking out. Like, I was just so nervous. I wasn't even guaranteed to meet them, but I did. And it's just, when it happens, it's so worth it. And I can't put this into words. They have helped me through a lot. It's not like I'm past, you know, all the bad stuff in my life. Like, everyone has things. Everybody has something. It's not over. I don't know if it'll ever be over. You know, I don't know what the world has to offer, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I know that I can always rely on them, you know, through their music, through their social media, to distract me and, you know, give me something else to think about and help me feel positive and remind me why I should wake up every day and smile and laugh and be happy. And, you know, I was like, in my letters to them, I was just, you know, thanking them for putting a smile on my face, because people really do underestimate the power that, you know, a celebrity or someone you look up to, even someone you look up to, it could be in real life, you know, people underestimate how much of an impact they have on you and how much better that they can make you feel. And the Jacks have made me so happy and made things a lot easier. Not easy, of course, nothing can make a bad situation easy necessarily, but they've made me so much happier. And I just want to say thank you, Jack and Jack, for this amazing day. Thank you to everyone that I've met. I'll cherish this day forever. And thank you guys, you know, for subscribing to me. I love you all so much. And I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye!
We can find our desire.